We are headed into the final weekend of the federal campaign. With Election Day on Monday, it's time to look at the ridings in Toronto and the GTA that you'll want to keep a close eye on once the polls close. Our senior reporter, Mike Crawley, has compiled a quick list for us. So, Mike, what exactly makes for a riding to watch?
Yeah, Dwight, it can be a variety of things, but typically the common theme is we expect it's going to be a close race. And that's based on either, what the results were like in the last election or what we're hearing from the parties right now. Sometimes it's about the historic voting pattern of a riding, the way it tends to swing back and forth between elections. Or sometimes it's a barometer of success for a party. We could say perhaps, this is a riding that if the Conservatives can flip, it's a really good sign for them winning nationally. Or we could say if the Liberals can't take that target riding, then they're going to struggle to get to their majority. So those are some of the reasons, and sometimes it's just a really juicy matchup of candidates.
Okay, we like that. So let's get to your picks. So what's on your list?
Okay, so let's start in Milton East, Halton Hills South. Now, this is a new riding, and that makes it a wide-open race. Both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre have stopped here on their leaders' tours. There's only a handful of ridings nationwide that actually got visits from both. And when you take this riding's boundaries and you add up the results from the last election, the Liberals and Conservatives would have been less than half a percentage point apart. So that makes it pretty much a must-win for the Conservatives. Their candidate is Parm Gill. He was a cabinet minister in Doug Ford's government, and the Liberal is Christina Tesser-Dirksen. She's a town councillor in Milton, and she actually ran in the provincial election in Milton for the Ontario Liberals.
Expecting a tight race there, as you said. So you've picked another riding in the 905 that you expect to be another close race. So which one is that?
All right, so that's King Vaughan. This is the kind of riding that the Liberals are going to need to pick up if they're to get to a majority. In 2021, it was one of the tightest races in the province. The Conservatives won it by a little more than 1,000 votes. The Conservative incumbent Anna Roberts is running again, and the Liberal candidate is Mubarak Ahmed.
How about seats in Toronto? Let's head south. What seats are you keeping an eye on in the 416?
So there's a couple of midtown seats. Let's start with Toronto St. Paul's. Now, you remember, for 3 straight elections under Justin Trudeau, the Liberals won every single seat in the 416. So when they lost Toronto St. Paul's in a by-election last summer, it was really the beginning of the end for Trudeau's leadership. So for the Liberals and the Conservatives, this race is a rematch of that by-election. Leslie Church trying to win it back from the incumbent Conservative Dawn Stewart. Another interesting race in Toronto is Eglinton Lawrence. You've got the longtime former city councillor Karen Stintz for the Conservatives against Vince Gasparo for the Liberals. He came within a whisker of winning Eglinton Lawrence provincially for the Ontario Liberals. And federally speaking, the Conservatives actually won this seat back in 2011 when Stephen Harper got his majority.
All right, interesting there. The last riding on your list is out in Burlington. What's special about it, Mike?
So Burlington is what we call a bellwether riding. That means historically it has tended to swing to the party that wins the election nationally. It's been incredibly consistent this way. Burlington's voters have elected a member of the winning party in every general election since 1984. The Liberal candidate is Karina Gould, the former cabinet minister and leadership contender. The Conservative is Emily Brown. She's a newcomer to politics, and on the website it says her background is as a scientific researcher for oil companies and as a math professor. Finally, Dwight, I just want to mention, you'll notice that I haven't mentioned the NDP candidates in any of these 5 ridings that I picked. The New Democrats have really struggled to be competitive in Toronto and the GTA. They haven't won a seat in Toronto since 2011 when Jack Layton was leading the party. And in the 905, it's been far, far longer. The last time the NDP won a seat in a general election in the 905, it was 1988.
Wow, interesting stuff. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.